Coming up on Colonial Sports Center, Artemis Spanu breaking records left and right. She was also on our show last week. We have the details. Also, women's hockey breaking some more records, a current theme for tonight's show. And men's basketball breaking news. No, it is not their unbeaten Northeast Conference streak. We have those details coming up next. And welcome back to another week of Colonial Sports Center. It's me, it's him. We'll have another one coming up later in the show. In fact, he led off the semester, actually the year.
He did. We're just not going to reveal his name yet due to security reasons.
Yes, Kenny Solelli will be with us talking some men's b-ball. Oh, whoops! Either way, let's talk about from someone who can't remember anything to someone who knows the deets. Men's basketball just finished up across the way.
Yeah, special deets just coming out of the Sewell Center. The men's basketball team beat Sacred Heart 91-65, and in the victory, Lucky Jones, 18 points and 11 rebounds. Also 6 Colonials in double-digit points as they continue their impressive run in NEC play.
And now, according to Chris Shevlin of 970 ESPN, RMU senior forward Mike McFadden has left the team. His minutes last week against St. Francis were limited, and he was not in the lineup Saturday against Mount St. Mary's or tonight against Sacred Heart. McFadden hit those 2 game-winning free throws against Kentucky last year to defeat the Wildcats. We still await confirmation from RMU's athletic department on the situation. We will keep you updated as information comes in. And breaking news just 15 minutes ago, 3 players on your screen. A 4th was added. Britton Lee, Jeremiah Wortham, Evan Gray, and Cher Tolson Ford, according to head coach Andy Toole, all violated university policy. Along with Mike McFadden and Desjuan Newton, their futures are still unknown according to Coach Toole, but that's all the information that we have right now, and hopefully next week we will get all of that for you and broadcast it here on CSC.
Switching over to the women's side, the women's basketball team, in the middle of a 4-game homestand, welcomed the Red Flash of St. Francis into the Charles L. Sewell Center last weekend for an NEC conference battle. Could the Colonials stay undefeated in conference play at the Chuck?
I doubt it.
Well, that's why we have highlights.
Sorry.
So we let you know. To the highlights, we go.
We're going to get there.
We're going to get there. Anna Nikki Stamalamprou. That's 1. She hit a lot of threes. More on that later. Spanu to Stamalamprou. I lied. We're going to get another one right there. That's 2.
Don't lie. No one likes liars.
As we see here, the passing play. Ravelli in for 3, and the Colonials got the hot hand. Randy Jackson with the ball, and she'll give it to Artemis Spanu, and she just does what she does.
It takes 3 defenders to stop.
Stamalamprou gives it over to Spanu right there, and bucket. Still doing what she does. Artemis Spanu. Great interview last week, too.
There she is, and maybe
second half,
international competition.
Passes inside, and now Janine Brown puts it in for the bucket. And then Stamalamprou misses here, and then the Red Flash come the other way. Allie Williams moving inside, then going back through the left-handed hook. I can't do that. Saved my life. Ravelli to Stamalamprou inside for 2. That's not a 3. That's a 2.
That is a 2.
That is a 2. Spanu to Lou Matali inside to Kelly Hartwell. What pretty passing from the Colonials here. Still close game. Inside with the bucket for the Colonials was Hartwell there once again. I like the specs. And then coming the other way, Sacred Heart. Rebecca Keegan with the bucket. And now Rebecca Navarro, long distance 3. You go, girl.
Oh boy, look at the 3. Make the copies.
And then we get Jolie Olingendi. Let me get that right one day. With the bucket.
You were close.
Ravelli to Spanu into Hartwell. Another passing play. 3 passes in a row. Colonials.
Are we still on this?
Ravelli to Spanu inside for the bucket, and that'll do it. As we're going to see Spanu get helped up by her teammates. And the players shake hands, 83-69. The Colonials rode on an 11-0 run to victory and improved to 4-1 in NEC play and overall 8-8. Freshman Anna Nikki Stamalamprou tallied 15 points, including 9 points from three-point land, while senior Artemis Spanu led the Colonials, shocker, with 25 points, 19 rebounds, and 9 assists, just an assist short of a triple-double.
And there once was a Seahawk that flew over the sea. They hailed from Wagner and scoured the Moon campus with glee until Artemis Spanu caught wind of these birds of prey. Let's see what the Colonials do and how many points Spanu will lay.
Ooh.
You like that, don't ya? I can rhyme just like Bo Burnham can. Lou Matali will start at the top of the key. Jolie Eligende. It takes 2 to tango, and she splits the D. Put the points up. 8-7 Colonials. Now, Cassie Arsler, look at the give and go, and 1. Give her another one, why don't you? Lou Matali to Spanu. I thought she touched the baseline, but I am dead wrong on the opposite side. Jasmine Niaje will steal the ball, and Janae Brown tries to block, but takes the foul instead. You talk about that Stan Malampru chick? Let's do it again. Jump back for the 3. It goes in. Puts the lead to within 1. Now Rebecca Novato to Spanu. Stan Malampru. We don't like ties. 18-18. 31-31 at the half. Second half we go. And Dante, look at the ball movement. I tried to follow it, but Spanu ended up finding Ravelli to put it in. That was only 11 seconds in, 33-31. It was very difficult. Look, camera angles. How about that? Spanu takes it herself and puts it in. No defense allowed. Now Kelly Hartwell will steal it, and I swear those rec specs, they're cheating. Hey, we might have a play later in the hockey game, a little bit of an alley-oop play across half court, half ice. That was Stan Malampru with the finish.
Spoiler.
That's foreshadowing. How dare me? Now on the inbound pass, Kelly Hartwell. She can't do it once. Let's see if she can do it twice. Will she get a chance for thrice? No, there's a foul. She went to the to the line for 2. No, thrice, like the band. Artemis Spanu will block Miss Rowe. Next, a touch pass from Spanu to Arsler. We're gonna get to that. There's chaos in front, and here we're gonna get it. Touch pass, and it goes in.
That was a Chinese fire drill.
That's your joke. I can't steal it. Now, no look pass. Oh boy, Ravelli to Spanu for the finish. And in record-breaking news, Artemis Spanu passed Jess Zenobel of St. Francis with her 73rd double-double, a new Northeast Conference record. She now has 10 points and 10 boards in 24 consecutive league games. RMU went into halftime tied and pulled away, outscoring the Seahawks 43-32. 4 straight road games are ahead for the Colonials, beginning with LIU Brooklyn on Saturday.
Following another impressive round of performances against St. Francis and Wagner, it's not surprising that Artemis Spanu was named Choice Hotels Northeast Conference Player of the Week. During the 2 games, Spanu averaged 27.5 points, 19 rebounds, and 7.5 assists, while going 21 of 24 from the charity line. That's like a B+ average.
It's like my GPA. And be sure to follow Colonial football, basketball, and men's hockey on Colonials Corner, run by RMU and CSC alum Andrew Chiappese. It is your one-stop shop for all of the RMU sports happenings on campus. Visit rmucolonials.com. And it was a rematch that not as covered as Kentucky earlier this season, but one that was personal for RMU. Remember, the Mount eliminated the Colonials in the semifinals of the NEC tournament last year. A vengeful taste was in the air at the Knott Arena. Andy Toll's bunch secured their 4th straight victory and remain undefeated in conference play this year, especially after tonight going 5-0. Without McFadden or Desjuan Newton, freshman Jeremiah Wortham stepped up with 21 points. In fact, the NEC caught word Dante Verme with more of that one word. That was not the bird, by the way.
While Spanu took home hardware for the women's team, the men's team didn't go home empty-handed as freshman forward Jeremiah Wortham took home the Choice Hotel Award for Northeast Conference Rookie of the Week. For the 2nd time this season, the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native averaged 16.5 points and 3.5 rebounds and helping the Colonials to their first 4-0 start in NEC play since the 2005-2006 season.
Well, I thought we did okay.
That was fun.
Can we get a little?
Yeah.
All right. What's coming up next?
Hockey, AIC, and then women's at number 10 Quinnipiac. And Kenny.
We'll get to Kenny. Do you think they can top off the number 10 team in the country? Well, we're going to see because he kind of teased it already. Coming up next on Colonial Sports Center.
Of course, I am here with Romo. How are you doing today, Romo? Great. All right, so Romo, just a few questions. How do you think the game is going right now for the Colonials? All right, on top of that, what do you think about the play of Paul Jones and his defense just demolishing Morgan State right now? All right, well, you heard it here first. Romo with his insight to the game. Back to you guys.
Be sure to tune in to Colonial Sports Center every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on RMUCentralMedia.com and Channel 98 around the Moon Township area.
Romo, have you downloaded the app?
Roma, have you seen this app?
Hey, have you seen the app yet? No? All right, put it down. I'll show you what you can do. All you have to do is install it, and it'll open up for you. My favorite part of it is the police blotter. Check this out. When you click into it, you're going to go right to the top left, and as soon as you click on it, everything will be there that you need, so you can stay safe.
Download the RMU Century Media app on the App Store. Roma likes it, and so will you.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. The women's hockey team was in Hampton, Connecticut as they took on number 10 ranked the Bobcats of Quinnipiac. Both teams were scoreless after 40 minutes of play, and then 18 seconds into the third period, Sydney Rosler netted her second career goal and gave the Bobcats the lead until Analia Lozier scored on the power play with under 5 minutes left to give the Colonials a well-deserved 1-1 draw.
I'm so glad we finally got that figured out. And nobody likes a tie, which is why the Colonials took care of business against the Bobcats the next night. They tied a school record for wins in a season with 19, and that victory gave head coach Paul Colantino his 53rd career victory, now first place in career wins in program history. This weekend, bitter rival Mercyhurst welcomes Robert Morris for a weekend set, and hopefully they don't fight like last time.
No.
That pesky women's hockey team made the news again, jumping from the Tony Aikman position to the John Elway spot. Figure that one out. In this week's USA Today hockey polls, it's from 8 to 7, okay? One tie and a victory against Quinnipiac helped out their cause to make this year the best ever for women's hockey. This is the 7th straight time RMU found themselves in the top 10 polls at 19-3-2. They carry the nation's top unbeaten streak at 13 games.
Hey, when you have a team in nationally ranked, keep talking about them. Following the Colonials taking 3 of 4 points in Hamden, 2 Colonials took home weekly honors as forward Rebecca Vint brought home the CHA Player of the Week award with her 5-point performance over the weekend, helping her surpass the 100-point mark in her career, while goaltender Jessica Dodds received the CHA Goaltender of the Week award for her efforts at Quinnipiac.
You know, athletes are people too. Just ask Richard Sherman. Senior defenseman and friend of the show, Brandy Pollock, was nominated for the 2014 BNY Mellon Wealth Management Hockey Humanitarian Award last week. It's almost too long to say. Last season, Kobina Delaney was named one of the 11 nominees for the award. Pollock has volunteered at the West Hills Health and Rehab Center and the American Cancer Association. Just for Brooks Bratton, she's from Virden, Manitoba.
Switching to the men's side, they were looking to continue their hot start to the 2014 portion of their season as they returned home to take on the Yellow Jackets of American International College. Could the Colonials continue their hot streak at 84 Lumber? Let's take a look. First face-off at home in 2014. As we get underway here, didn't start well. The Yellow Jackets in the offensive zone, and Dominic Roccobaldo on the back door puts it in. His first NCAA career goal gives AIC a 1-0 lead. I hope so. That's what I would do. David Norris feeds it over, and John Pulskar just gets it past Schaefer's blocker. It's 2-0. Not a good start at home for the Colonials, but then a lucky bounce. Hunter Leisner had problems getting the puck out of his zone. Colin South gives it over to Jeff Jones. It's 2-1.
Is Schaefer off the force? I forgot to ask.
He's still on the force.
Oh, yeah, good.
For now.
For now.
RMU in the offensive zone. John Ray will take the puck here. This pass was so dirty, we weren't allowed to show it. Scott Jacklin put it in, though. Trust me.
It needed a shower.
It's 2-2. 3 minutes later, Jason Popek puts it in, and then a minute after that, stay with me, 3 goals in about 3.5 minutes. Gibson with pressure along the boards. It goes to Matt Cope, feeds it in front for Brendan Denham. We're tied at 3-3. 90 seconds later, on the power play for AIC, Blake Popek just puts it in before the net comes off its moorings. 4-3 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Third period started off hot for Robert Morris. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, but Captain South says no, no, no. 4-4 now. And we go to overtime.
Different athletes. Hakeem and, okay.
Yeah.
Or Dikembe. I don't know. I don't know
Brendan
anything.
Denham, you'll see here coming up, will deflect a shot from the point. Hunter Leisner's there, says nope. Easy save. And then the Colonials, this just said we're going to win. A 2-on-1, Cody Wido up for the Hobie Baker. Across where Gaddy can't put it in. With under a minute left. Short-handed, too. And that would do it as both teams would tie. The Colonials earned a hard-fought point in the 4-4 tie. 4 different Colonials tallied in the team's third draw, and goaltender Terry Schaefer got his third tie of the season with 23 saves. The Colonials improved to 4-1-1 in 2014.
If you notice the athlete, Colin South looked furious. And just so Dante eloquently reported, men's hockey tied AIC Friday evening. And as we learned from the women's team against Quinnipiac, nobody likes a tie, not even this one. Let's go back to the 84 Lumber Arena. And this is a face-off.
Is it now? Did you learn that in class?
Yeah, that was it. Dave Rigotti, he's getting physical.
Physical.
Oh, that made me happy. Greg Gibson, he's going to go behind the net off the body, and it goes in kind of like something Lemieux would do. New NCAA rules, if the net goes off the mooring, the play continues. Jay Llewellyn to Rigotti, but Ryan Kerpen, he will make the save, squeezing those leg pads real hard after 1-0. Then Cody Wido. By the way, he's up for the Hobie Baker. He scores 2-0. Robert Morris, and then look at Kerpen with the stick save. Evan Renwick, he will give it away, and Chris Porter will hit the 5-hole, make that 2-1. Robert Morris. And, well, no, okay, Jeff Jones, I just wrote pretty on here. 3-1, Robert Morris. And this is an alley-oop. I told you we had this coming. Zach Lynch scores. Who was the alley-oop pass from again?
From Cody Wido. Oh, wait, he's up for the Hobie Baker. Did we say that already?
We need to say it one more time, like later. Alex McMillan to Nick Campali. We'll see McMillan work a little bit. Toe drag and top left corner. Bazinga. And then Greg Gibson, just to finish it off. Empty net at half ice. And that will ice it. Oh boy, Greg Gibson's 2 goals propelled Robert Morris to the 5-2 victory. Since the beginning of 2014, the Colonials have gone 4-1-1 while earning 9 out of 12 possible points in that stretch. They now sit at a 3-way tie at 5th place in the American Hockey Association. Let's talk to centerman Zach Lynch about the victory.
And we're here after the Colonials win 5-2 over AIC. We're here with Zach Lynch. And Zach, how does it feel to take 3 points out of the weekend?
It's huge. Those are very important points to move us up in the standings and keep us hunting for those top few spots. We came in wanting 4, but 3 is very good for us right now.
And how does it feel to start the six-game home standoff on the right foot and looking forward to next weekend against Air Force?
It's awesome. We've been struggling at home this year, so to finally start getting these much-needed points is huge, and we hope to carry it into next weekend.
All right, well, Zach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win. I was like, I never heard of him.
Well, since we're messing around here, this is what's going to happen when each team messes around.
Friday, we have both hockey teams, women's at Mercyhurst. Hopefully they don't stab each other as they did last time. Men's hockey at Air Force, we will have highlights of that next week as the Falcons come into town.
Like a Happy Gilmore kind of thing. Anyway, moving on from Saturday. No Sunday, we have off, but on Monday, women's basketball travels afar to Fairleigh Dickinson at 7 p.m. And just like Carvel Anderson says, do it and I will get very physical. Men's basketball versus Bryant on ESPN, 8 p.m. next Thursday.
But that's national television.
It is national television, and I still say watch us instead of the basketball game because, well, we're better than them. And we were ties. Anyway, who's coming up next?
Coming up next, Mr. Kenny Solelli. Not to be mistaken with Justin Bieber. He doesn't drive around in Lamborghinis. I barely fit into his car. But he's coming up next. We're going to talk some basketball with him, dig into his mind.
These boys are my heroes. They come every week to spend time with my children.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
They can teach them something no one else can.
Wisconsin.
They're role models to the children, and homework comes way before sports. Their grades have improved, and their lives are just a bit richer.
Okay.
What they do for my kids is truly wonderful.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
I call them my lifeline.
People don't realize how quickly you can end up on the street. One thing happens in your life, medical bills you can't pay, lose your job, and that's it.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
We went to DC to work with the homeless. They sell a newspaper called Street Sets. Thought I'd help.
but if you want to give more, you can.
This person came up to me and said, get a job. And for 2 hours, I felt what it was like to be homeless.
Good morning. $1 help.
Some of the other students said, how can we change this? And I said, sometimes you can't change the world, but you may be able to change one person's world. My dream? Open a psych clinic for people on the street.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
And welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. We told you the seat would be filled, and it's filled by Mr. Kenny Solelli, executive of ticket sales. Now, Kenny, we heard some breaking news earlier. Let's talk about Mike McFadden first. What kind of a detriment to the team will that be? Not necessarily on the court, but off the court too. He is one of the seniors on the squad.
Mike's one of those guys. He's a senior leader. You know, they love him. He's very well respected by the team, especially after last year, the Kentucky game, hitting the game-winning shots. His loss is going to be a big one. You know, it's a lot of size in there, which we don't have much of. But he's got some issues he's got to work through. The team is going to have to work through without him. Tonight they came out. They were great. They were great Saturday. So far, no problems with his missing.
And Kenny, you see with how this team is going, especially with how everything that's been brought up today. If you're Coach Toole, you go from the top of last year to this year. It's just been a whole mess.
I give it up to Coach Toole. He's a wonderful, wonderful coach. He knows how to manage this team better than I think any other guy could handle. He does it with class and professionalism, and he keeps the guys in line. Losing the players and the talent level like this, a lot of teams could fall apart. Tonight they had 8 guys, and every single one of them stepped up, from Charles Oliver, Kevon Stewart, all the way up to Lucky. That's what you need when you're going through a time like this, and a lot of that goes to Coach Toole.
Now, let's get on that, though. 6 out of 8 players were in double figures tonight, so let's remember that. But in your opinion, since Coach Toole is handling this so well at such a young age, do you think Mike Rice would have been able to do it better?
Yeah, that's tough to say. Coach Rice and Coach Toole are both very similar and very different at the same time. They go through different styles, and I think Rice could handle it, but at the same time, I think there's be aspects of it that he wouldn't be able to handle as well as Coach Toole is. Coach Toole's very, very good with the small stuff and managing everything and everyone. I don't think Coach Rice was as good as that, but at the same time, he taught Andy all he knows, and he's just kind of taking it to another level.
And then, from your perspective, we've seen, as John said, 6 players score in double digits. Who's the one that you're looking to step up? Obviously, Lucky Jones, who led the team tonight, is one of those players you have to look at.
The obvious ones are, of course, Carvel and Lucky, but how about Aaron Tate? He's played very well all year. I thought he played well again tonight, and then even Kevon Stewart. He's a freshman. He played quite well again, very talented. I look for one of those 2 guys step up, take on some more minutes, take on a bigger role.
Do you think this gives bigger teams, especially ones in the power conferences, more reasons to go after someone like Coach Toole? We saw him reject the Siena contract over the offseason. Now, what if more teams come in like a Tennessee or even lower on the totem pole like a Michigan, who is up very high and very down sometimes?
I think it does. He's shown that he can manage the talent. He's got great ties in Philadelphia, which a lot of teams will like, that recruiting area. He's done a lot with a little here, and the more success this team has, I think the greater the chances are that he gets one of those big offers. I don't know if we're looking at maybe a Power 6 school, but I think definitely a school on the level of like a Gonzaga, would certainly come hard after Coach Toole. And I don't think there's really any reason for him to stay here. I think he could do very well at a school like that. If the offers come, he'll certainly consider them. And if this team makes the NCAA tournament, I definitely think that he will get great consideration from a lot of big schools.
And Kenny, this was a team where you come off of last year, you beat Kentucky in NIT, and now no one was really sure what we were going to expect when you lose guys like Velton going into this season. And it seems so far, especially in conference play, they've really, really stepped it up.
And before NEC play, it looked like the losses of Russell Johnson and Velton Jones were decimating this team. Since starting the conference, this is a whole different team. Out of conference, we were talking about their defensive struggles, just really not able to get it going. Now in conference, they're clicking on all cylinders. They didn't miss a beat tonight, despite missing 6 players. That's huge. And in this conference, anything can happen. You got a huge game Saturday now to get for Wagner's favored to come first in the conference. They have a very tough press that we've struggled with before. If we have six players missing again, we're stuck with 8. That's going to be a tough one to get through. But with this team, the way they play, I think they can do anything.
Now, you talked about bigger schools are going to want Coach Toll. Excuse me. And this seems to be a place where a coach will get his feet wet and then go beyond. As a player, and you're trying to recruit, what do you tell the incoming freshmen that, you know, I'm Coach Toll right now, I might not be here in 2 years. And players and coaches, they have this chemistry. And what would you tell a recruit?
You know, I think that's something that's different with every coach. You know, you're going to look at that, and every coach is going to have a different response to that. And it's up to the player then to make the decision on how he feels. Obviously, Coach Toll brought in a very strong recruiting class last year with these same issues and did well with it. So he knows what he's doing. I'm going to trust him to take care of that every time.
All right, Kenny, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. I love your hair, by the way. It matches your beard. We have our favorite segment coming up next.
Prime time plays of the week. I wonder if there's going to be hockey and basketball. I just wonder.
Maybe curling. We'll see. Coming up next.
Curling?
Maybe.
I like curling.
Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Ron!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you. Bobby? Susie? Don't worry, that's just the power of the art!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
You ever think about buying a bigger place?
Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy.
There is no credit fairy.
How else will I get a better credit score?
Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it.
No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
Yes, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Nice air guitar, John.
How would they know? They didn't see it. Number 5. Colin South. There it is.
Number 4.
I'm not as excited as that guy.
Watch this, D. Brown. Best Dikembe Mutombo impression. No.
And she's a foot shorter than he is. Number 3. Jeff Jones off the Hunter Leisner, Brock Lesnar. Brothers? Not really, but Jeff Jones scores anyway.
Yeah, they rhyme like tomatoes. Number 2. Jeff Jones splits the D, goes backhand top shelf. Scores. I wonder who said scores before that.
Scores! Number 1! And this is Brandon Denham getting physical, baby. Physical in front of the net. He scores. That's 4. And those are your prime time plays of the week. RMU Live on Mondays at 1 p.m. Leah Fleischel and Victoria Lomax. Make sure to watch it.
Got 3 other shows your campus stories. Tune in, Vince Russo, and also brand new show, Trending Now. What do? A lot of different things. Check it out.
RMU Radio, your campus, your voice. Pretend we're not NPR. We actually talk into the mic.
If you want news on anything going on this campus, Moon Township, anything, there's a lifestyle section, Eddie Sheehy movie reviews, everybody else. Check out RMUCenturyMedia.com.
And tips for everyday living. We want to thank everyone that has made this show possible. Next week, women's versus Mercyhurst. No fighting, we hope. An update on men's basketball. Hopefully we will get some more information. And then
highlights from men's hockey versus Air Force and highlights against Wagner. Kenny said they're supposed to win the NEC. We'll see how they do against us. I think we'll
maybe that's just he and I and him speculating. Take care. See you guys next week. And just remember, throw papers at the screen. Do it. Why not? Just do it.